Hey, welcome back to Family Man Racing. I'm Eric if you're new, and we are doing an update on my 3000 GT drag car build. So it's built for street classes like Limited Street at World Cup, X Street at FL2K, and some import face-off classes. Let's see, it would probably be Force Induction Pro. Wouldn't fit into the street, but most places street. So let's flip this around and I'll take you through where I'm at, and it'll be a quick video. Let's start with the motor. So this is a 6G75 out of a Mitsubishi Endeavor. They also have them in Gallants. It is a non-Myvec motor, so no Myvec control on the intake cam. It's just a straight regular deal. The heads are almost identical to Myvec heads, and then we're getting some custom reground cams. I've selected and spec'd out some springs. We got some titanium retainers for the valve train, and then some pretty cool stuff on the block side for head sealing, and custom pistons, some off-the-shelf rods, and we're using a 6G74 crank to de-stroke it. So it's essentially an overbore 6G74, which is a 3.5 liter 93 bore, 85.8 stroke. The 6G75 is a 3.8 liter with a 95 bore and a 90 millimeter stroke. So we're taking the 95 bore with the 85.8 stroke, turns out to 3.6 liters. So that's what we're gonna have, is a 3.6 liter, big valves from stock, should flow a lot, and then we add a ton of boost. So that's the motor. ATF Speed is doing an adapter plate for powerglide transmission. So that'll sit here flush-ish with the firewall to meet stock firewall rules. And then behind that is the powerglide. And then behind the powerglide is that transfer case, chain drive, racing in the dirt transfer case, which will send power back up to this Dana 35 front diff out of a 1998 Ford Ranger, which will send power to the 3000 GT knuckles, and also back to a Ford 9-inch in the back. Right there, which is a triangulated 4-link, like a Fox body is how I did it. And it's 100% bolt-in. So it bolts into stock subframe stuff. It uses stock strut location. This whole thing unbolts. It even uses stock location for, this is an SL chassis, for the lower control arm, right into the factory. So 4 bolts, and that plus that, the whole thing drops out. So that's legal for all those rules. Of course, fuel cell in the back. I use the stock filler neck, because who wants to pop the hatch in order to fill up your car when you're cruising around? And then what I've been working on right now is wiring. And yes, we'll put the trans tunnel back in. Let's see, so this is pretty cool. So battery back here. This is the driver's switch panel. That's an e-stop, which goes to a battery cutoff. So reset. Now everything gets power. Click that, no power. Or no power. So pretty cool. And then this is the ignition to turn on the ECU and some other powered things. That goes to a water pump. And then get ready, this is gonna be loud. That goes to fans. And they move some air. But they have to move some air because there is a 6-inch thick intercooler in front of it, 2 3-inch Garrett cores welded together, and some cast end tanks. And then interestingly, this is out of a Toyota MR2. It just fit well. And then one China fan and one Spa fan. Probably replace that one too. But 12-inch fans. And that's about it. Other various things, you know, manual brakes, deleted the booster, coolant surge tank. That's where the radiator cap is too, obviously. Should be the highest point. 2G headlights and a 1G bumper. Saves about 10 pounds. No pop-ups. And per rules, you can cut in front of the shock towers and tube that. So that's what I did. That saved 30 pounds. And that's where we are. I need to put the Willwood brakes on the back so that I can measure for wheels on the back. Gonna have a 28 10.5 on the back, 27 by 10 up front, 355 gear, 370 gear. And when you pick the right tires with the circumferences correct, it all matches and speed matches. Parachute. Parachute handle. Steering wheel, I have an 8-inch extension because I'm not going to be able to get in and out of here very well. So I need to be able to take off that much column and hang it up out of the way. And yeah, after I finish the wiring, oh, let's do some cool wiring stuff. All right, that's on. And let's turn on, it's low beams. Have some yellow fog lights for low beams. Might trim that, might not. And then high beams. Obviously that's not wired yet. There's high beams, LEDs, and then we have the horn wired up. Oh, turn signals, blah, 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 blah. Cool.